Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is going to be very timely because the holidays are coming up. So I want to give you a few quick and easy, simple tips to help you over the holidays with healthy eating. And this is meant for people that struggle with this. This is meant for people that dread holidays because of the overconsumption and feel bad later about it, or feel physically not well for days after, like the food hangover. This is meant for those people. So the first tip I'm going to let you know is that you should never go to a dinner starving. Never. So if you know you're going to have a big meal on either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or both, you are going to make sure that you have something substantial the day of. So don't wait all day just to eat at the function, because that's not going to go over well if you are a person that tends to overeat and tends to overindulge and not feel well about it after. So something good to have would be something high in protein or high in good fats, because those foods will keep you satiated longer and hold you over until the actual meal happens. So you could have like a protein shake, you could have a protein bar, you could have like eggs, you could have a big salad with some chicken in it if you eat chicken, or fish, or the thing here, chia seeds or hemp seeds. So a lot of protein with a lot of vegetables and a couple of good fats, like either some olive oil or some other really good oil put on the salad, or some avocado, because that's good and high in good fats. This stuff is going to keep you satiated longer, and it's going to hold you through the day to get to the dinner time or for lunch or whatever it is that you're having. So it's important to make sure that you have something to eat substantial that's going to hold you over before the big meal, so that you don't, in your words, or who asked me this question, blow it at your dinner time, or lunchtime. So that's one really good tip that you want to make sure that you do. And if you are the person that is preparing the meal, the same goes for you, because you're going to be running around all day, busy, probably stressed out, probably not eat or be picking at whatever you're cooking, which we've all done. So you also make sure that you sit down, make sure that you enjoy a meal high in protein and good fats, and to satiate yourself so that you're not just completely ravished by the time the meal comes and then overdo it. So another thing we want to do, whether it's the meal before that we're trying to get satiated before the actual big dinner, whether it's that meal or the big dinner meal or any meal, I have a whole video on this, but I'm going to talk about it here, is to be mindful when you eat, to be mindful, to savor the flavor, to enjoy your food, to not be distracted by your phone or the TV or any social media or, anything like that. So just have your meal and be conscious of what you're eating. Savor the flavors, savor the colors, savor the taste. Chew your food slowly. It helps so much with digestion and also helps with registering the feeling of being full. It takes about 20 minutes from the beginning of a meal to the end of a meal to register that feeling. So if you're wolfing your food down in 5 minutes, chances are your body's going to have a chance to register that food. And most importantly, for digestion, we have to eat slowly. Our food should be chewed, they say, even up to 40 times to be a consistent paste so that it can be digested properly. So the other thing with eating protein is that protein takes a longer time to digest, and that's another reason it's going to satiate you. It also does not affect your blood sugar greatly, so it's a good choice. And good fats, again, are going to keep you fuller longer, and they're tastier, and they're going to add some flavor to your food. So that's the first thing, is don't let yourself get too hungry. And that's when you're going to have failure, as some people will call it. As I said, the person that asked me to do this video basically said, I feel like a failure and I feel like I blow it when this happens. So it's directed towards them, but it's directed towards anyone listening, and I'm using their words, not my words. So that's a really good tip for you. So make sure you eat very, very mindfully, no matter what it is you're eating, and enjoy your food, because the holidays is also about enjoying food and have a pleasurable experience. It's supposed to be pleasurable. When you're eating and it's not a pleasurable experience, that's when we feel kind of bad about it, or we feel guilty about it, or we overindulge because we're not paying attention. We're not paying attention to what we're doing. So we'll go back for that second piece or third piece or whatever it is, because you didn't savor the first one. And it's okay to savor the first one and go back for the second one, but be mindful. Be mindful. The other thing is to drink lots of water. So hunger is very often mistaken for dehydration. So we're actually dehydrated, but our body is giving us all the signals to get food. And it's really that we need water. Many people are dehydrated. You want to make sure you have at least 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. And you want to, especially when you know you're going to be having a big meal, hydrate yourself well that day. We should be doing this anyway. So drink lots of water. And it's also going to help you later if you drink alcohol, because alcohol is a big part of the holidays, and being dehydrated and drinking alcohol, not a good combination. So whether you're a drinker or not, make sure you get 8 to 10 glasses of water. You're going to need more if you're drinking alcohol. I'll get to that in a minute. The next thing is portion sizes. So I think that what's really helpful with mindful eating too, and intuitive sort of eating, I've done a video on that too, is to decide ahead of time. So you're not going to beat yourself up if you don't follow what you've told yourself before, but kind of decide ahead of time if you're either cooking the meal or if you're going to someone's house. We generally know what's going to be served, but have an idea of what foods you're going to have, whether you perceive them as good or bad. That's your perception. And decide what you're kind of going to have. And instead of having like large portions of all kinds of things, try, like little portions of everything. Try a little bit so you have a little bit of a taste for everything. And if something is not quite to your fancy, then just don't eat that, right? Like, again, it's about pleasure. It's about pleasuring your mouth and your sensations with the food. So that's what I recommend. I recommend a lot of little portions, and then if you want, you can go back later. People often feel obligated, like they'll be, again, another problem with being too hungry is you take such big amounts of food, and then some people feel obligated to finish their plate because they're either at a friend's place and they feel bad if they don't finish eating it, or they've made the meal and they don't want to waste food. So for whatever reason, if you take smaller portions, you will avoid that if that's your mentality and that's the way you think about that. That could help with that. So, and then keep your goals. Like if you do have a goal for dinner, don't beat yourself up. Keep your goals small. Don't go, I'm going to go to this dinner and I'm not going to have any dessert and I'm not going to have this and I'm not going to have any carbs. And then if you get there and you have like a little bit, you feel that, well, like I might as well eat everything because I made a mistake. And no. Like just keep your goals small so that they're attainable and that you don't feel guilty or bad about yourself if you don't meet those goals. So, just be realistic. It's a holiday dinner. There's going to be stuff that you're going to want, probably. So, and then as always, the more colorful your plate is, generally, the more healthy it is. So load up on vegetables, load up on salads, load up on greens, red peppers, carrots, whatever the colorful arrangements are. And we all know that vegetables are good for us. So just load up on that kind of stuff. Now, the next thing was that about sabotaging yourself. So a lot of people do sabotage themselves, and it's with the all or nothing mentality where, for example, I was saying before, like I'm not going to have, for example, I know so-and-so has pecan pie. I am not going to have any of that pecan pie. And then you end up having some pecan pie and you end up having a little piece and it's really good. And you're like, what? I want another piece. And that's fine. But if you have that mentality that you're all or nothing, you're just going to blow the whole thing. And you're going to go, well, I'll have 10 cookies and I'll have this and I'll have that. And whatever the situation is, I'm exaggerating. But I've been known to do that. So I am exaggerating a little. So, you are then thinking, well, the healthy food's out the window. No, it's not. It's not out the window. It's not out the window because you had a little piece of pecan pie. It doesn't work that way. Tomorrow's another day and all that. And yes, you can start again, but it doesn't mean, again, this is about your mental outlook. So this is about if you're going to do that and feel bad or feel guilty, or if you're full and you haven't registered that feeling of fullness and you continue to eat, you're not going to feel well. In fact, the next day you're going to have a food hangover. So most people have food hangovers after holidays more than they have alcohol hangovers. Because yes, too much sugar and too many carbs are going to give you a food hangover the next day. You're going to feel lethargic. You're not going to have very much energy. And if you haven't been drinking water, whether you have alcohol or not, you're also not going to feel very well. You're going to feel sluggish. So another thing to consider. Now, the next thing is something really important I want to touch on. that I don't think a lot of people talk about. And I think that especially over the holidays, but I mean, food for thought, this could be any time. I think we need to respect other people's choices. So, for example, if you go to someone's house or they come to your house, however it works, I was talking about, feeling bad and eating just because somebody, prepared a meal for 10 hours. You don't have to finish your plate because of that reason. You could just say, oh my God, it's so good, but I just couldn't eat another bite. But you don't even have to explain. Like, you just eat what you want to eat. And we have to be cognizant. Like, some people are on diets for whatever reason, and that's their business. Some people are vegetarian or vegan, like myself. I'm a vegetarian, and like, these food choices have to be respected. There's people that want to eat healthy. There's people that don't care about eating healthy. And either way, I mean, it works both ways. We have to respect those other people's choices. I'll give you an example. Like, one time I went somewhere and they had turkey, and I don't eat turkey because I'm a vegetarian. And I was basically told, well, it's not an animal, it's a bird. What is the difference? And you just can't explain these things to people. So, and that's just one little example, but I mean, just be cognizant. Or maybe for health reasons, people can't eat certain things, or they have an allergy, or they have a sensitivity to something, or they just decided to cut out dairy for their diet for whatever reason, because it makes them feel better. Let's not judge those choices. Doesn't matter what it is. Just as though somebody who's heaping a plate full of bad food doesn't want to be judged, you don't want to be judged the other way when you're trying to make healthy decisions for yourself, right? And be told other people's opinions on what you're doing. So it works both ways, but I think it needs to be said that we need to respect other people's food choices, and it's hard for me to do sometimes, but I do try to make a point of doing that, because it's not fair. And again, the point of being together for the holidays and enjoying a good meal is not about judgment, is not about asking people 5 million questions about what they eat. The point is to be together and enjoy each other's company. So just something to be cognizant about. And the last point I'm going to make, because I talked about it already, is alcohol. So alcohol is a big part of the holidays. A lot of people consume alcohol. The lineups in the liquor store, like down the back of the store, is understandable. And I'm not going to say to you not to have any alcohol, but obviously everything in moderation. And this is about how you feel. So you want to make sure, if you don't care, then you don't care. But if you want to make sure that you're feeling good the next day, and you're not, there's nothing worse than having, like, let's say 2 days off work over the holidays, and the first day you go gung-ho and have your alcohol, and then the next day you're just down and out for the count because you feel like crap, right? So if anyone's trying to avoid that, you want to make sure for every cup of alcohol, every glass, so 8 ounces or whatever of alcohol you have 1 to 2 glasses of water in between. That is the best way to avoid, first of all, not getting like super drunk. Second of all, it helps to avoid a hangover. So, and you're going to feel better, and you're going to be hydrated, and your skin's not going to look like crap the next day, and you're not going to look so gray and like hungover. So that's a little tip I wanted to give you. If you're going to be consuming alcohol, make sure that you drink water. And the most important thing is, if you're consuming alcohol, please don't drink and drive. Please don't. Your family loves you, your friends love you, your partner loves you. Nobody wants to lose you. Don't drink and drive, and you don't want to hurt anybody else. So please, I'm going to be back next week, probably with a video. I'm not sure over the holidays if I'm going to be able to do 1 or 2, but I really appreciate all of you who watch my videos. I see you watching, and I see your likes, and I see everything in your comments, and I'm so appreciative. And I only have 39 subscribers at this point, but I have a lot more people that do actually watch the videos, and I see it in my YouTube, stats. And I'm so appreciative, and I'm appreciative for every single one of you 39 people. So if you know anyone that might like this channel, please let them know about it. Please click the like button, that really helps me, and subscribe to my channel if you can, and then you want to hit the bell to make sure you get all future notifications. So thank you again for all your support. I hope that you are all very, very well over the holidays. I hope your holidays are safe, happy, and healthy, and I will talk to you soon. Merry Christmas. Take care.